Okay, I want to make a video, short last minute video on the new Marilyn Manson accusations, and this girl seems to be all over. She's on the cover of People's Magazine. Remember, People's Magazine is the same publication that had Amber Heard and her fake Bruce on the cover. So now they're putting this girl that nobody knows who she is, unless you're in a circle, unless you live in LA and you're in some type of circle, you don't know who this person is. And now everybody knows who she is because she is loving this. And her name is Ashley Morgan. They put her in the magazine as Ashley Morgan Smith line. I don't know, because it sounds more important or something. And she is one of the main four. And Richard Wood, Esme Bianco, and Ashley Waters and Ashley Morgan. Those four are, their statements are they're just seem like they wrote it together. This girl right here, what I'm going to play in a minute, so you don't have to look for it because it's quite disgusting. If you are on this side, you can be whatever side you want. I'm not trying to make fun of her or the way she looks and anything. I'm saying it's quite disgusting because of the things she's saying. Ashley's saying the same things Esme Bianco is saying, with a little flair, with a little change, and then Esme is saying the same thing that Rachel was saying, and then you have Ashley Waters, which is friends with all of them. So I do think this whole thing was created last minute, like now, between 2020 and 2021, totally created, because until 2016, they were seen in concerts with him. Esme Bianco went to his bandmate Twiggy's Ramirez's wedding in 2014. We have a couple of articles from 2016. Evan Roger Wood is talking about her character on Westworld, and she's talking about Marilyn Manson fondly and nicely, and talking about how he cannot prepare her for the world, and she has respect for him. And that was in 2016. So I think this whole thing is not that old. I mean, it's old. The accusations from Esme and Evan Roger Wood are old, from like 2000 something. But the thing that they're just pop up with it and all at the same day in Instagram, February 1st, is very coordinated, and it is not really organic to me, at least to me. And I'm not a cop, but it doesn't seem it's not like the Amber Heard that you have all this incident, which I know that she's full of shit, but all this incidents and all this audio and all these pictures, these girls have nothing. There's one picture of Esme Bianco's back, and we don't know her back because it's just the back with whips, which just seems to look to me like rope marks. And for the fact that she's saying she was tied up for hours, maybe those are just rope marks, which will not make it okay, but it's not like, oh, I was there, under the influence and it wasn't consensual and he whipped me. If you were there tied up and it was consensual, then he didn't hurt you. You can say it's not your cup of tea, not my cup of tea, or that's what Manson does. And with some people, and this is what these girls do with a lot of people. And Esme Bianco was a fetish bondage model way before, like in 2006, from 2006, 2007, 2008, when they finally met, introduced by then Manson's wife, Dita, introduced them. Evan Roger Wood doesn't have a past as a fetish model or as a bondage model of actress, but she said in many interviews back then that she was very into Lolita and the book Lolita and the movie Lolita and the whole dress up as Lolita before she was with him. So the whole, like, he told me what to dress and what to put on my feet and what to put makeup to use and to wear underwear all day in the house. All those things are so calculated because they just seem identical. And not because of this is what Manson does with everybody. I don't think so. It's because they sat together, they got a ghostwriter or somebody like that to write all this stuff. Or maybe Evan Roger would write the whole thing. But that's giving her like this power, like she's like Ursula in Little Mermaid, like she's a witch. I don't think she's that powerful. I also think she's quite insecure, Evan Roger Wood. And then she doesn't know who she is, pretty much, and that's why she's doing all this, because she just needs something. She needs to do something besides her TV show. That's not enough for her. being a mom and having an awesome TV show and having a lot of money, that's not enough. She just needs to destroy this guy. The other girls, nobody knows who they are. I mean, Esme Bianco worked on Game of Thrones, and Esme Bianco worked on Game of Thrones, and that's it. So I repeat it twice because I don't remember anything else that she's done. So what she's known for, the same with Ashley Morgan, they're going to be known for being the girls that accuse Manson, and they're going to be the poster of domestic violence against women, right? Not against everybody. And they're going to be known for this. It will suck. I mean, it's not a good thing to be known for this, but they seem to dwell on it, and they just love the attention and the pity that comes from other people, and the, oh, I'm sorry this happened to you, and blah 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 blah. And some people get quite addicted to that, and that is not me just saying it, that's science. You get addicted to attention, you get addicted to people feeling sorry for you and blah blah. I mean, you do. Anybody who doesn't say it is just, who doesn't admit that. I mean, all of us been in a situation one way or the other. If you're getting married, if you're having a baby, if you just graduated from college and you're getting all this attention, and people telling you congrats, you did a good job, and it's the same thing but multiply and just blow it up or proportion. It's the same thing they're having. There's all this attention to them constantly, and this victim mentality that they have, that is not, it's not like the victim mentality you just leave it at the door of your therapist's office. You are bringing it to just put somebody, like take somebody down, throw him under the bus, him, his family, his wife, anybody that knows him. It's kind of a good thing that his parents are not alive anymore. Can you imagine them seeing this? Okay, this is her. This is Ashley Morgan.
Ashley posted on Instagram accusing Manson of
on
abuse,
Instagram.
Sexual violence, physical violence, and coercion.
And now just
and
listen
now
to what
she's
she
telling
said.
Her full story for the
It's very
first time.
interesting.
I have bonded with the 5 other main girls who went through this, and we have found such a strength in numbers. And our stories are all identical. It's disgusting.
Who talks like that? Yeah, I talk like that. You too. Or who talks like that on People's Magazine? It's disgusting. You notice that she almost says the F word. I mean, you got to look at her lips. I'm doing this so you don't have to. So to look, that she kind of goes like. So I think she meant she's saying freaking or fucking. We don't know, but I'm sure it is fucking. Our stories are identical. It's disgusting. Why would you say that your rape and other girls' rape is disgusting in such a manner? Like, you should not. I mean, that they should edit that out of the interview because it sounds really weird. And we found such a strength in numbers. That's kind of messed up. I don't like the fact that I live in a society that just because a bunch of people think something makes it true, then you get into this argument that is very dangerous, because you could just put somebody in jail, or take somebody's kids away from them, or fire somebody because 12 people agree on it. And there's no physical proof. It's just I have to believe them at face value because there's a strength in numbers. I don't think this is strength in numbers. This is what she thinks.
If you're going to be an abusive psychopath, be original. And he wasn't in any way.
If you're going to be an abusive psychopath, be original. At least Esme and Everett Wood didn't, well, they're actresses, this one is not. They thought about kind of looking, like morose or just demure and sad and not. This girl comes out as so arrogant and saying, well, it's like me saying, oh my God, Ted Bundy, he was chasing me down the hallway and he's such a psychopath. At least be original. Wait, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? Like, that sounds beyond crazy. I didn't hear any of the victims, quote unquote victims, say something like that yet. I think that I don't want to make fun of her face. I don't know if she was high or drunk and whatever, she's skinny, she's fat. That's not my problem, but this thing, the way it's coming across, that's not my problem either. But I want to put this out there because I really don't like what they're doing to him, and not because I like Manson. I don't like Manson, or I happen to like Johnny, but because it's justice. It's an injustice to get somebody because it's a strength in numbers and because you're a woman and because they just believe her at face value to the point they put it on People's Magazine. This is not TMZ or Esquire, all those trashy tabloids. This is People's Magazine. You will think that they check facts, but they don't. Okay, I stopped there where she said, at least be original. That it made me sick to my stomach that she would say that. Why should we be making fun of somebody who she said she was afraid for her life?
In 2010, Marilyn Manson was a 41-year-old heavy metal icon, as well known for his music as his
He still is.
often controversial persona, while Ashley was a 26-year-old model working in Thailand.
I grew up out here in LA, in Calabasas. My parents are both like in the industry, so I started modeling pretty young. I always wanted to act. That was my intention, my goal. But modeling monetarily came first.
Ashley had frequently worked with LA-based artist and photographer Tyler Shields, who also happened to be a friend of Manson.
A friend of mine, a photographer, Tyler Shields, had shown him photos.
A friend of mine. The reporters say she worked for Taylor Swift, which happens to be Manson's friend. So who introduced her to Taylor Swift or whatever? Taylor, the photographer. Probably Manson did. She's saying it herself that she was not getting a lot of work and she wanted to be an actress. I believe that. And she was in Thailand. So then they're gonna do the whole like human trafficking thing that he flew her to LA. She's so original that he cannot find girls here in LA. He has to fly this one from Thailand to be on his videos or whatever, or to hang out with her. He has to actually spend money and time flying somebody. That part is really hard to believe. So she's saying she met Tyler Shields, just she's not saying through Manson, but then I think it is. I think that's what happens through Manson. She also says she has parents in the industry. So maybe jumping to conclusions that say she is just a gold digger, it will be too much because she does have parents in the industry, so maybe she had connections. But obviously she wanted more connections or better ones. That's what I think happened. And if you are with Manson, you're probably gonna get them, pretty much.
And so he contacted me on the phone and said like who he was, and I wasn't into that type of music. I knew who he was, I knew his public persona, but it didn't, mean anything to me until he said like, and I know you're really interested in acting, and I want you to be in a film, and I want you to be in a music video. And I was like, thank God, like I can go do this. And he mentioned like, knowing a lot of people in film, and I thought I could finally get out of modeling. So, and especially modeling overseas. So
She says it right there. I didn't know who he was that much. I never listened to his music. I knew who he was, kind of like his face. So she doesn't know who this guy is. Not even his public persona. And then she just takes a plane and just goes out and moves in with him. She admitted there she didn't know she didn't know who he was. And she just goes and come over. That makes you so shady, Ashley. Seriously.
endless intelligence, and it was
And
very.
he lured her
It felt
in.
very safe. It felt very secure.
That November, after 2 or 3 months of communicating long distance, Ashley flew to Los Angeles and checked into a hotel on Hollywood Boulevard.
The reason I came out in the first place wasn't we were in love and we were friends, and he was casting me in something and I was gonna be able to act. But he flew me
She's
out
admitting right
to
there that
Roswell.
she
He
wanted
brought
to
his
hang out with
father's
him just for the
absence
connection.
and had
She said we were not even in love.
He came with his
She's not even
assistant.
trying to
She
play
was
on
more
that like
comfortable.
the other girls
He came
did.
with a girl that was a couple years older than me. And we all, hung out and had some drinks, and then, he's like, can I kiss you? And he was still being so romantic and so kind and normal. I went to his house the next day.
About the liquor store.
Odd. It was a hollowed out belly.
It's not odd.
Billy's.
Okay, she thinks it's odd because she doesn't know. She says she's from LA, but I'm not sure. It's not that odd to have something made into a recording studio, to have a dance studio made into a recording studio, to have a recording studio about a liquor store. It sounds shady and that's weird, but it's not that rare. And she and all the other girls making it sound like he had these dungeons and, you know, where he was just bringing all the girls in and feeding and drinking their blood and stuff. I think it's not that abnormal to have a recording studio, kind of slash apartment that you stay in on. It's not that abnormal to me because I live here and I'm seeing people doing that. Like, for example, like you see like a gym in a school that is abandoned, nobody's using. They can make that into something else. Sometimes they do. It can be a recording studio. It can be a place for photo shoots. People do recycle places. I don't know why she thinks that's dark. And also she talks about the walls were black, the floor was black. I don't know, the ceiling was black, but probably wasn't, but it doesn't matter. And it looked really shady and dirty, and there was darkness everywhere, and paintings everywhere, and dark paintings. Excuse me, are you paying the rent? He's paying the rent. He can paint the wall purple. First of all, he's Marilyn Manson, but even if he wasn't Marilyn Manson, he's paying the rent. You kind of can do whatever you want, most places. So the walls are black. See, again, they're just waiting on they're milking of the fact that he's weird. That's it. If he wasn't a weirdo, in this interview, she wouldn't say the walls were black as a thing. She would just talk about the rape allegations and everything that happened physically to her. The fact that she's saying the walls were black, this guy wasn't saying the walls were black, the floor was black, and it looked very dark. That is to make him look worse. This is such a framing job. I mean,
how great music sounded, how wonderful he was, and he was, even when he was abusive sometimes.
Yeah, she's about to say this. She's about to say even when he was abusive, he was wonderful. She's saying this so it makes it so you will think, oh my God, she is so troubled, and she's so troubled that she was gonna fall in love with this guy who was beating her up. So she still looks like the victim if she says it like this. It's really weird because she went from like, be original. If you're gonna be a psychopath, be original.
Joking and funny.
But now he was funny and he was charming, which probably it is true.
And then sometimes he would be the most terrifying monster in the world. He would say things like, "Do you know I could kill you right now?"
According to Ashley, the verbal and psychological abuse soon turned physical.
The first time that I didn't know that you could rape someone that you were in a relationship with. And there's a difference between waking up to someone having sex with you nicely in the morning and waking up tied up with someone having sex with your unconscious body. Like being tied up and screaming and not enjoying it.
You were screaming in your sleep. You were screaming in your sleep. You were screaming in your sleep. No.
And him like laughing, like sadistically.
Laughing sadistically. I have a
or,
pretty
like,
bad laugh.
Gagging my mouth or something. And then didn't really speak of it. I wasn't allowed to speak of it. I never.
This is what she's describing as very much. If you look that up out there on Google, on YouTube, what she's describing is very much a relationship, a dom submissive relationship, and that part I believe. This stuff, unless the person is a minor, it's not illegal. He was forcing her drugs. He was forcing her to stay awake. She's gonna say all that in a minute. To stay awake, and she couldn't sleep. She couldn't eat, and all that stuff, and being tied up in the bed. I don't believe for a second that he was doing that when she was asleep. She contradicted herself just now when she said she was asleep and she was screaming. They might have something going on like that on those lines, but it's not illegal and it's not abuse, and it was consensual. This is why he said on that Instagram, and his lawyer popped out this comment yesterday saying, we strongly disagree, we strongly deny Ashley Morgan's claims. There's so many falsehoods with her claim that we wouldn't know where to begin to answer them. The relationship is limited and it only lasted a week. A spokesperson for Marilyn Manson, just probably one, not his lawyer, but one of the persons in his team. They said, we don't know, we don't know where to begin. They're saying the relationship lasts a week or two, relationship. And it's pretty much like she's saying, they were just hanging out and maybe they had sex a couple times. And the whole, he was telling me what to do and what to say is very much, I don't see that as a crime. I don't. And a lot of people that I know wouldn't see it like that either. And she explained it like she didn't know. This is a girl who was working as a model in Thailand. I don't think that she's so innocent. She said her parents are in the industry. They like even her two parents. They were actors too. That makes them more, you are not sheltered. It's not like you live in the Midwest and you don't know nobody, and you live in a farm. You live in LA, your parents are in the industry, you work as a model, you know things. You can't just sit there and pretend that you don't know what's happening to you, that you don't know that Manson was a weirdo, that you didn't know that Manson had an alcohol problem. I mean, it's really just not believable that she's acting this way. And all that happened in a week.
Inside of my elbows, my outer thighs have his initials carved.
Oh, that he carved her and cut her.
To them, cut my lower stomach.
Her skin.
He made it very clear that I was replaceable, that I was vulnerable, that I was extinguishable, so that he could kill me at any moment. He would remind me when I was tied up or when I was whatever, that I could kill you at any time. At one point, I brought up, do you want me to kill myself? Do you want me to just kill myself? So he decided it was a good idea to show me clips of different suicide scenes from movies.
You see how that can be distorted? They were watching movies and they were watching messed up movies, which is something that if you go to Marilyn Manson's house, it's probably going to happen. He goes from watching cartoons. He always says that he goes from watching cartoons and Mickey Mouse to watching surgeries being done. He likes to watch that type of stuff. I agree. I like to watch crime and surgeries. I'm the same way. That I'm a rapist because of that? No. Did you ever say to anybody, oh my God, I will die for you? Yeah. And that makes the person a rapist? No. This is kind of what she's saying. That he said, well, I could just replace you. And then she said, oh, I will die for you. There's no marks. She's saying there's a cut. He cut it with a Nazi knife. They have to throw the Nazi thing out there. They can't say a knife. The reason they're saying Nazi knife to make it sound worse, and also Evan Roger Wood and Ashley Waters happen to be Jewish. This doesn't matter to me, but it won't matter in a court of law that he was using a Nazi knife on a girl who's Jewish. They're not, they seem stupid, but they're not that stupid. The Nazi knife thing, cutting her, cuts everywhere. Those cuts usually heal, right? After 5 years, you're coming out. But she didn't take pictures back then. She didn't take pictures of any of these things. So we should believe that, he got me all over the place. She didn't take pictures. She didn't even try to do a fake bruise like Amber did. So, no, I'm sorry. I don't want to make fun of her. I just don't believe her. If I believe that she was tied up, yeah, maybe she was tied up and it was consensual. Did I believe that she ever said to him, I will die for you, oh my God? Yeah, she probably did. That's her fault. That's on her. It's all these girls, her, Esme, and Evan Richard Wood are not taking responsibility for the way they are and for the things they do when they are with men. So this puts the guys in a situation that is all their fault. And sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. That's what I want to go 50-50 on this. I believe Manson and Johnny 100%. But I like seeing people on YouTube that are 50-50 I don't like seeing this like, well, he did it because you remember that album, the cover of that album, there is a girl tied up. He did it. Remember that song? He has a song that's called "Kill for Me," and in the song he says, "Come over and let's make a blood pact, and then kill for me. Will you die for me?" It has many lyrics like that. Really messed up music videos. Looking, he's doing a lot of things in the music video. There's a music video with Johnny Depp of all people, and it's dark. So I feel like it's not illegal. It's just dark. Dark is not illegal. I feel like this girl's really squeezing that, and that doesn't make the person a criminal because they make dark music or dark videos. This is what happens to in the 80s to Ozzy Osbourne, in the 90s to Manson with Columbine and with everything that he was the Antichrist. He just puts the word Antichrist superstar in an album. He never said he was the Antichrist. There's no interview, not one interview that he talks about that. He doesn't like that the church as an institution. A lot of us don't, and it doesn't make you, again, it doesn't make you a Satanist. It doesn't make you a demonic person. His paintings, I love his paintings. They happen to be what they are. They're dark, yeah, because this is what he does, and this is what he does the best. So why he will stop doing something that he does the best, that he makes money doing? Because he's scared of what people think. I actually admire that he hasn't done that yet, that he has not changed. He's not getting worse. I think he's staying on his level of weirdness and darkness. And I love that he hasn't changed for anybody or based on fear. If he changed, it will be because he changed. He wants to change. He starts doing electronic music, and then maybe he takes all the black stuff off. I don't know. But it's his thing. And I believe that even if he wasn't famous, he'll still be out there wearing black all the time. That's what I think. And that's what a lot of us think. So what do you think about Ashley Morgan and People's Magazine? And the cutting by the Nazi knife, starve and all that. And I need to see proof of that. I need to see doctor proof of that, and even a phone picture or something, because it's really hard to believe them at face value. And I don't like the fact that you're just a victim because you say so. That's very dangerous if we start thinking like that as a society, as family, as people, as girlfriends, as husbands. It's very dangerous if we start putting ourselves in a victim mentality and then we stay in that for like 10 years, because that's going to give us some type of connection. And I don't think it's a paycheck. I don't think she's getting paid for this. I think it's connection and it's attention, and it's, my God, it makes you feel, it gives you a high. I think that's what's happening here, and I really think that this is what's happening. I am 100% sure. You don't have to, but I am. And I explain in all the videos why I don't believe Esme of all people, and her and Everett would. The other ones don't matter that much.